I'm Glenn Elliott, and I'm founder and CEO of Reward Gateway. We're a UK HQ'd tech business, HR software business, SaaS business, and we help companies be nice to their staff by running their employee benefits, their recognition, and their communications. We've been doing it for about 10 years. I've done 2 PE-backed MBOs, one to Inflection, mid-market UK player, back in 2010, and just sold to Great Hill Partners over in Boston, just last July, so that's our second MBO. From like 2006 to 2010, Reward Gateway had, by that point, we could see a way to £1 million EBITDA, about 4 or 5 million revenue, about £1 million EBITDA, and we'd learned enough about private equity by then to understand, what basic multiples, how valuations worked, and back in those days in 2010, if you're running a growing business, you could maybe get 8 times EBITDA. That was a good growing business of that sort of size. One side, so I started working with an investment banker. I never even knew what an investment banker did in those days. There was a complete chance meeting at a party where I met one, and I'm like, what do you do? And he said, well, think of me like an estate agent for businesses. I help people find buyers, which made sense. He introduced me to the idea of private equity, which I hadn't previously ever thought of. And I remember one of the things he said is, look, you're making £1 million EBITDA now, and if you're doing a trade sale, they'd be valuing you on what you've done. But private equity is a bit more thinking about the future and thinking about growth. So private equity will look at your trajectory, what your line looks like, and think, well, you're making £1 million now, but you're going to be making £3 million in a year's time. He says, and I think they'll pay off the 3. So rather than getting 8 times 1, you're getting 8 times 3 if you get yourself PE ready. That's kind of where the private equity idea came from, and that was the first time when I ever considered selling to PE, when I started understand it properly. I think private equity works for me because it's got quite a nice defined pace to it. You kind of like have 4 or 5 year sprints. The kind of basic tenet of private equity, or growth private equity worldwide, is they want to kind of 2.5x treble their money in about 4 to 5 years. Yeah, sometimes slightly longer, occasionally slightly shorter, but that's a rough timescale. And with Inflection, we were with him for exactly 4.5 years, so we were bang on. Although we outperformed the 3x and we did 7x, which was good, but that was a different part of the story. So I quite like the sprints, the kind of 4 or 5 year sprint. You can just about see 4 or 5 years ahead. Yeah, although it's never a straight line. It's always more complicated than you think. I like the focus it gives you on your numbers and building value, because you're completely aligned with the PE firm. You have equity in the business. You'll have sold some of yours, but you'll still retain some, and they'll give you some more, some what they call sweet equity. It's called sweet equity because you buy it for a sweet price, for a low price, token price normally. So you've still got a significant shareholding, and you're completely aligned on growing the value of the business. But it was an interesting time going through that kind of 6 months learning all about it. And I remember when we sold to it was Inflection back in 2010. I remember insisting to our investment director, Christian Hamilton there, I don't want to be sold as part of the furniture next time, in 5 years' time, because I assumed that I wanted to leave by then. And he's a very smart guy, and he's like, yes, absolutely, Glenn, whatever you want, you'll be able to do. And the truth is, I love being private equity-backed CEO, and I love growing the business. So I'm still there 10 years later. I still love the job.